if it didn't backfire on her and Joey Swoll didn't get involved, then this guy's life and reputation could have been ruined because of something like that.
Welcome to the Emily and Todd podcast. Before we get started, please remember to like and comment on this video, as it does really help with the YouTube algorithm.
The reality is that there's good men out there, and then there's bad apples, and there's great women out there, and there's bad apples as well.
Yeah.
But I think the messaging we're getting right now in this time point is that kind of all men are trash and all
Yes.
women are queens. And
Yes.
it's very, very black and white, and it doesn't work that way.
And that's where there won't be any improvement. That's what
Exactly.
I can't stand happening, is when that's going on and it's like, well, that's not going to change. That's only going to get worse. We're not going to figure out each other and how to get along. And so it just doesn't make sense.
But it's because of the fact that you have this platform that really caters to an algorithm, and it's one of those things where it becomes an echo chamber.
Yes.
And then you don't hear the other, perspectives.
Yes.
And so, like, one of the interesting perspectives that I have when it comes to TikTok, for example, so recently another woman got caught roasting a guy in the gym.
Oh.
And so, but what I would look at is that she was definitely in the wrong for doing this because the guy wasn't doing anything inappropriate. But from my psychological background, I would say that some part of her life, probably she endured some kind of trauma. And so she was hypersensitive to something like that going on. And in her mind, she may have believed that.
Yeah, so you think
And that's not me pandering to women. I think that 100% sure she was doing it for clicks and views, but I think that it probably was more than that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Like it wasn't purely out of nothing then into a video. For her to post it, I could see that being 100% for views.
Yes,
But you think
of
there was
course.
a base there of like she felt that was her truth.
Yes, I think
she
I
felt
think
that
she
way.
probably had some kind of trauma in her life, and so because of that was hypersensitive. Then she interpreted that event in real time as that was what was going on, and then she said, "Oh, I got some great footage. Now I'm going to put it on TikTok."
Yeah.
And it ended up backfiring on her. But now it's something where she's got to now deal with the fact that she's that girl.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because, like, in this particular case, she's only 21 years old. And so it's like to, like, have that on there forever on YouTube where
Yeah.
all these guys are, like, coming after you and things like that and having to take the video
rough.
down.
Yeah.
It's something where, but I think that's the kind of culture we live in right now where I think people really have to be careful about the things that they're saying.
Absolutely. I mean, it's cancel culture.
Yes.
So, and it's there forever, especially once they take your video. It doesn't even matter if you take your original
Of
one
course,
down.
yeah, because it's been
Still out there.
Yeah, it's been on Twitter and redistributed thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times.
That is what's sad, especially with her age, because I mean,
She's just a kid.
honestly, yeah, in 10 years, she could think just like I do. I mean, like everyone changes and grows in time.
Exactly. But that's where I would really, before people put that kind of content out, it's saying, okay, like if I did endure some trauma, get help for that, get therapy for that. And it's one of those things where, so you have a better understanding of kind of how you operate
Yeah.
and what are your triggers. So
Yes.
if you're in the gym and a guy, in this case, the guy was just helping her put on a weight, and
Actually trying to be helpful.
yeah, and she was, calling him a creep and all this other stuff. And,
Yeah.
to the point where it really could have, if it didn't backfire on her and Joey Swoll didn't get involved, then this guy's life and reputation could have been ruined because of something like that.
Absolutely. But see how that took from you, like an in-depth look and understanding of like you not getting triggered, right? Because
Yes.
I think automatically that will trigger most men. And then their response will just be automatically negative towards
Yes.
her, which like I get. But for you, because that wasn't triggering to you, you kind of looked deeper into it and what motivated her. Because I think obviously as a therapist, you have that understanding that there's always something that motivates people to behave.
Nothing comes out of a vacuum.
Right. So to figure that out potentially and to have some sort of empathy for that,
Yes.
I think is telling. And I think, my God, if like most people had that ability,
Yeah.
like
Well-
we wouldn't have these echo chambers.
Yeah, well, and she put out like a really big, long apology and things like that. And so it's one of those things where at least she was trying to do well.
Yes.
But it's something that, again, I warn people if they're watching, to kind of stop making those reactionary judgments. To think more logically rather than emotionally. Because, again, I'm able to see, like in her case, I have empathy for her in a lot of ways because I don't think the other thing is that the punishment fits the crime necessarily.
Yeah, because really the only response that would be needed in a video like that would just be to tell her, look, like, I don't think that guy was hitting on you. Or
Yeah.
like, I don't think he was
Or
being
being
a creep.
inappropriate.
I don't think he was being inappropriate.
Exactly.
Like, just to speak, like, your opinion on it. Because if she read those messages, she'd probably, like, it would click with her, but instead, I'm assuming she was probably attacked more
of
so
course.
than that.
Yeah, all over.
Yeah.
And, it's something that, again, that's always going to be up. And
Yeah.
and that's where I, kind of feel bad for her, even though she was brutal on this guy. And so it's one of those things where, definitely deserves some actions have consequences. I always believe that. But at the same time, I think it's something where I think we need to like have more open dialogue about, kind of why these videos are out there.
Yeah.